What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going through talking about how I won a trip to the 2025 All-Star Game by winning an NBA 2K tournament. Now, this was a tournament that was put out there. It's a PlayStation tournament, but 2K did put it out there. I joined, not really sure how it worked or how what was going to happen. Basically, how it worked is it was a PlayStation tournament. You had to win a tournament, which was basically you could register 32 people in to make the final stages of it. And the final stages took place this past weekend. I was able to take first place and end up securing my spot to the 2025 All-Star Game, which I'm super excited about, guys. I've never been to an All-Star Game, and people can make a mockery of what the All-Star Game is. I get it. But being able to be at the All-Star Game and seeing all these All-Stars, some of the best NBA players in the world, is going to be super, super, super cool. So for everybody out there saying Ty is washed, look, I was good enough to at least secure my spot. Now, this footage is from that tournament, so you guys can see, how the games went and the types of guys that I was playing up against. Honestly, I played really well. I had a couple of somewhat close games. Overall, though, I was able to play well enough to secure a big-time win. And honestly, I hope that PlayStation or 2K releases more of these types of tournaments. It's cool to sure have the 250K tournament and win life-changing money. Absolutely. I would never take that for granted. But winning these types of experiences for me is super, super, super cool as well. Because, I'd never purchase these types of things, obviously, because expense-wise, it doesn't make, it's just ridiculously expensive. But winning these types of things, securing your spot, to make your way to the All-Star Game is just going to be an incredible experience for me. So it is something that I am super excited about. Definitely don't take it for granted. And if you want to, you can obviously stay tuned into these types of tournaments. I do believe, and just the NBA 2K page did tweet it out. It's one of those things. It is just a PlayStation tournament. So if you play on Xbox, you aren't going to be able to play in these. But they've had, I think they had one earlier this year that you could win a trip to the, what was it? The NBA Cup. The Cup, obviously, earlier this year that took place in Las Vegas. And these are cool for the community, because obviously if you do win one of these things, you can win your trip to really anywhere. And so that is super cool. And again, monetary wise, it's cool to obviously win money, but it's the trip that is super important. So this is one of the games that, again, I played in, and you guys can see this is, I do believe, the finals game that was for basically all the marbles. And you guys can see it's a close and competitive game throughout. I will say most of my games I did win by a decent amount. And I think a lot of it has to do with, again, you have to win a tournament to qualify for the tournament. And then it is only a one-day tournament that you basically have to have your day free for. And so, if you are busy on this specific day that it takes place, it's tough to put all that time and effort into it. But obviously, the Boston Celtics are still the best team in the game. It will be interesting, depending post-trade-wise, what happens. But then, when Chet comes back, right, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, will the Celtics still be the best team, or will the Thunder start to be the best team? Obviously, play now wise, those are the things I have to start thinking about, because I do play a bunch of play now, and I need to start thinking about who the best team to run truly would be. I used to run the Thunder just because, again, they have way more offense. I feel like with the Celtics, sometimes I can definitely be pretty boxed, but obviously, this was a day last weekend that I wasn't boxed. I actually played extremely well and was able to secure my trip. Now, I don't know what the All-Star Game, what the trip's going to be like. I haven't received any details on it yet. But again, it'll be nice to just get away from sweating the game for a little bit and be able to take a trip to the All-Star Game. Shout out to everybody that did play and compete in it. Like I said, I did have a couple of pretty close games, especially when I got to the Elite 8 stages. That's when things did get pretty tight, especially when you're playing for a trip to go to the All-Star Game. You're playing for something that obviously you really do want. So that's when things get pretty tight. Obviously, I was able to prevail, but it could have went either way. I played in, like I said, I played in the other tournament earlier this year, and I did end up getting beat, I think, in the Elite 8 or the Final 8. So, you know, I was super fortunate to end up winning this, but like the score right here is 19-19. I could have easily lost this game, and if I would have, guess what? I would not be going to the All-Star game. So a lot of times when you're playing in these types of games, it's 1 or 2 possessions that swings the game here, right? It's 19-19, and it's just 1 or 2 possessions. Like if I get a stop here and a bucket compared to if he gets a bucket and a stop, that's like a 5-point swing. So it's the margin for error in these types of tourneys are so small. So you got to make sure you lock in on every single possession. I was just fortunate. The bracket set up pretty nicely for me. Most of my games weren't, you know, super close. But like I said, this is one of the games right here that was super close and competitive. And that play right there with Derek White really kind of swung the game, right? Like I said, if he gets a bucket there, scores 2 points compared to, I don't even know what happens here, but compared to what probably happens, that is a big time swing. Again, he just got a steal. And like I said, if he gets a bucket there compared to me, I mean, making a crazy bad pass right there, front running, trying to get a 3, that could swing the game entirely. So those are the types of things. If you do want to play in these types of tournaments, obviously Players Lounge hosts tourneys, you know, every single week. You guys can register for Players Lounge to start playing, competing in tourneys. But these tourneys, you know, do take place. I feel like once a month they've had some sort of qualifiers for a new tournament. I'm really hopeful that they have one to win a trip to the NBA Finals. That's my hope. That's my goal. Maybe, and this is another optimistic thing, it doesn't really NBA specific, but imagine if they hosted one of these for a trip to like the Final Four as well. Like college basketball, I know it's not the NBA, but that is something that I would really like to experience as well. And you guys can see in this type of a game, it was close and competitive. And so it's obviously difficult to win these, and that's why I don't take it for granted. Even the, you know, the past tournaments I've won, it's a possession or 2 that swings it. Like I was so fortunate to win all of the tournaments that I have so far because all it takes is a possession or 2 to really swing the game, swing momentum. So that's just something to think about for you guys. Is if you do want to play in these games, I would start labbing a little play now. Start playing in some of these Players Lounge tournaments, those types of things. I'll leave that link down below in the description to sign up for PL, but then stay tuned to 2K. If you're on PlayStation, it's under the PlayStation or under the 2K tab, you'll see all the tournaments they have. And again, this one, I believe, I'm trying to remember what it was called. Maybe like the All-Star Challenge is what this one was called. The first one was the, no, this one was the Playmakers Cup, I believe, or maybe the first one was the Playmakers Cup. I'm not exactly sure. I get them confused, but I do like the fact that there are some tournaments, they're all play now, no real My Team tournaments right now, but I do like the fact that I can play and still compete, although there is no $250,000 My Team tournament. So yes, I'll be headed to the NBA All-Star game, super excited about, hopefully, I don't know what the trip's gonna be like, honestly, I have no idea, because I don't plan it, it's basically planned for me, but hopefully, I you know, am able to get, you know, a really good experience. So that's obviously something I'm super grateful for. God has blessed me in so many different ways. So that's gonna wrap it up for my video. Just wanted to let y'all know I'm headed to the All-Star game and I'm super excited about it. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.